Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Bowhunt or Die. I know many of you have reached out to me on Facebook and privately messaged me. Unfortunately, my dad finally had to give up his fight, and we did lose him on Sunday night. Unfortunately, definitely, I am losing by far, the guy who got me into hunting, sure. And to this day, I still don't know how he was able to see deer when I first started hunting 300 to 400 yards from where I was sitting and be like, hey, you got a deer right behind you. I must have been like the worst.
Better binoculars than you did.
There you go.
And when you're young, you don't know what you're doing. But yeah, I mean, it's a shame. Unfortunately, I think it's something that we all are going to go through if you haven't already in your lives. And I know that you said something the other day about I think one of the harder parts, at least at first, when you go through that first hunting season, is not having your dad there to call or to text or whatever, because they're usually like the go-to kind of guy. And it's been 8 years since my dad died, and I still want to be like, hey, check out this buck that I killed.
It's the weirdest thing. I agree. I mean, he was by far, the first time that I would shoot a deer, he was bam. I was calling him, I was texting him, and I'm definitely going to miss that for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So thoughts and prayers going out to Mr. Graff here and the rest of the family.
Justin. I'll have to just call Justin now right when I do it. And he won't take my calls. So
I'll probably be hunting, but if I'm not hunting, I'll take your call. So guys, we're going to jump into some updates on this week's show. The season is officially open here in Illinois. Unfortunately, Todd has not been out. I've been out once and wasn't able to film anything of any sort of excitement. So we're going to get an update from Tom Alford, who actually was in some deer. We're also going to get an update from Johnny Herrmann from northern Wisconsin with his deer and wolves up there. And then we're going to check in with Neal McCullough on some of the hit list bucks he's chasing for this fall. So let's jump into that now.
Well, got done with work, just took a shower, getting dressed, ready to go. You know what? The plan's going to remain the same. I'm going to go into the same spot that I talked about going into yesterday. The conditions aren't as good as I thought they were going to be, but we still are dry, out of the weather, and have a little bit of a north wind. It's like 1 or 2 miles an hour, which I wish it was about 5 to 7, but oh well, it's going to work out just fine. I'm going to get in there super early. It's like 1:30 right now. I just figured, I know I have some neighboring pressure to the north. I'd better get in and get set up before those guys get in there. And they could even bump something to me. So kind of a similar strategy that I've had all year hunting Wisconsin public land. Hurry up and get in there quick before everybody else does. So I'm going to hurry up, get dressed, and get to the tree stand. Hopefully we see something good to shoot at today. We don't even know what we're going to shoot at today. Might be a buck, might be a doe. Who knows? Let's do this. Bowhunt or die, baby. All right, so like I was saying, I got here really early. It's like 2:20, and I think that's pretty early for October hunting. But this area that I'm hunting, you can hear behind me, there's a lot of human pressure around here, and the deer are sort of used to it. But I just figured, you know what, I'll get in early. If I do bump something going in, maybe by the time it's prime time, they forget I was there or forget that I walked by them. So we're just gonna get in and go real slow and look for sign all the way around, or all the way there. Already got a big rub right here. I haven't been over here in a long time, so it's all good information, taking it all in. All right, let's do this. Another good rub.
Set up in the tree. You know what, I'll be honest with you, this is really nice having a tree stand already set up. I'm so used to hanging and hunting the same day, which is a lot of work, difficult with all the bugs, and you get pretty sweated up. It's definitely a lot of work. But I set this stand up back in the winter, and it's probably only about 10 feet off the ground. But I really like this spot. And basically what it is it's just a corner of a field. The deer bed all over. They bed in the corn. They bed up above me. And they kind of congregate down here, and they make their way to this winter wheat field where there's a whole bunch of volunteer winter wheat growing up. But my longest shot, if it does happen in this spot, is no more than 28 yards. So if they're in this little nook, they are in trouble. So I'm going to sit back, enjoy. Hopefully get some deer to cooperate. Not even sure what I'm going to shoot yet, to be honest with you. Like I said, I'm targeting that 1/8 pointer, but if I get a really good opportunity at a doe, I might take it. I had a freezer incident earlier in the summer, and I lost everything. I have absolutely nothing in my freezer right now, so we'll see. That was pretty cool. Those two little bucks came in, kind of fed around and messed around with that little doe. But it's still early. I've got about an hour and a half left to light. So hopefully they start moving, or bigger ones start moving soon. But good sign, great to see a deer, and also great to have him within range. I had so many opportunities to shoot that doe, but I was like, I'm just gonna wait. It's still super early. So we'll see what happens, but I'm pretty sure she doesn't have any fawns, so that might be a good one to take. So if she comes back, gives me a killer opportunity, I might take it. Well, that was an awesome night in the deer woods. But I got deer all around me right now, so I'm gonna be as quiet as I possibly can and get out of here so I don't blow the spot. They're all over. They're crawling. This is awesome.
We plan all year for this. We hone our skills. We have confidence in the gear we choose. When the time comes, will you be ready? We're giving away 10 DS4K models between now and the end of the year. To enter for your chance to win, text STEALTH to 59262.
Hey everybody, John Herrmann here. It's actually September 19th. It's my daughter Danielle's birthday. Happy birthday, Danielle. I just wanted to give you a quick update of what's happened here late summer and into the hunting season here in Wisconsin. So I had planted 2 different mixes of Heartland food plot around one of our shooting houses out in the middle of a 3-acre bean field. I planted this stuff right into the beans, and man, did that stuff come up nice. I checked it every time we came up this summer to check on the cameras and do our work up here, and it came up nice. The deer are just pounding it. So I thought, well, what a better spot to sit than that food plot on opening night of the season. So Saturday night, September 15th, I was in that shooting house in the middle of that bean and Heartland food plot, and sure enough, a bunch of deer came out. We had a shooter, 4-year-old 10-pointer that came out. We had a northeast wind blowing that night, and how the deer work up here is they generally come downwind into the field, and then they hug the upwind side of the field, so they're going to all stay on the east side of that food plot so that they can smell a wolf coming at them from the woods, and then they can obviously see across the field in case a wolf comes at them from downwind. So unfortunately for us, he never came over to feed in the Heartland stuff around the shooting house, but it was a really cool night. We saw, I don't remember, somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 deer that night, and quite a few bucks. So the mornings had just been a bust up here this week for some odd reason, but the following night I thought, well, why not? I'm going to climb back in that shooting house again. Now the wind had completely switched around, and it was in the 80s with a southwest wind. So we didn't see nearly the deer that I saw on Saturday night, but we did see some deer, and had another nice buck come out on the west side of that food plot real late. So I kind of said, well, I might be burning this food plot out. So the following night I took a blind and I popped it up in the middle of an old blind that just a pine bough blind that I had built along the edge of another food plot that was also planted with alfalfa, beans, and that same double Heartland mix. This is a bigger field, like a 15-acre field, and yeah, that was really fun. So again, we had a northeast wind, and I was tucked up into the northeast corner of this field, and so all the deer came out fairly close to me, and I had some deer right on top of me. Had some little bucks in velvet yet that were all around me, and man, I was actually contemplating shooting a doe that night, and I wish I would have. I had quite a few does within bow range that night, but I just didn't want to screw it up for a big buck if he came out in that corner. So yeah, I had 3 really good evening hunts, but I've been really working this area where I'm sitting today. This is a bedding area way off the field, and I've got some intel from the stealth cams that a couple of our shooter bucks have been bedding back in here. So this is where I've been really trying to focus my efforts, because this is a really nice little kill spot back here. Last night I decided to come back in here to this bedding area and just hope one of them big bucks is going to pop up and walk by me on his way out to the field, and nothing happening. And then about an hour before dark, just about, I'd say it was a third of a mile, maybe a half a mile from me to the north, this big wolf just started letting out these howls, and he howled for about 45 minutes straight. He'd howl for a minute or 2 minutes, just long, eerie howls, and then he'd stop for a minute or two, and then he'd howl again, and it was weird. Normally they don't do that. There had to be some sort of a hunt or something going on back there where one of them was trying to spook deer, and then the other wolves would be silent and spread out around them. We've watched them do that up here before, so man, the wolves have just been on top of us all summer and fall up here. They had a litter of pups, and they just are not traveling off this property like they normally do, so we're hoping as soon as those pups get old enough, they're going to start making their 100-mile radius swing, where a lot of times we'll go a month up here without having the wolves on us, and then they come through for 4, 5, 7 days, and then they're gone again for a month. But this year it's been wolf after wolf after wolf, and on all the cameras all the time, so it's tough to pattern these big bucks when you got wolves pushing them around every night. But hey, what are you gonna do? It's at least we're hunting, right? All right, well, you guys all have a safe hunt out there if you're hunting. If you're waiting, be patient, it's coming. And I'll check in again with you guys next week.
I wanted to update you guys just on what's been going on with me the last few weeks. Let's start with Minnesota. I was able to get down to my Minnesota spot here a few weeks ago, right before the start of the season, to check my food plots, and they all looked great. All 3 of them are coming in kind of varying levels, but they all look pretty awesome. So I have basically setups for any wind, a south wind or a north wind, and any kind of combination of east or west in it. So that looks good. All the crops look amazing. The alfalfa fields, everything's looking great in the in my Minnesota spot. I have no super giants, however, this year, so no big ones yet on camera, but they always seem to find their way there. So I do have 2 or 3 that I'm definitely gonna definitely would shoot though. I have a 9-pointer that doesn't have a name, and another buck I'm gonna call Simba. He has kind of a mane and really short antlers. He's an 11-pointer, and I got various pictures of those guys, some in the day, some together. I haven't got any pictures yet of them split up, but those 2 bucks for sure. And then the last buck is a buck I'm calling 7. He's a big, heavy 7-pointer that I've seen actually the last couple of years. I've seen him, didn't get any video of him last year, and then this year he's again a 7-point. So there's an antler point restriction where I hunt in Minnesota, and you have to have 4 on the side. So he meets that qualification. So if I get a crack at him, for sure I'm gonna try to make that happen. So all right, and now for Wisconsin. As you guys know, we had a pretty poor start to the as far as weather-wise to the season. It was super hot opening weekend, and normally we're out to start it, but just given the conditions, we decided to wait. We let the opening weekend pass and a bunch of rainy, hot, muggy weather push through, and on Friday the weather broke, and it was absolutely a perfect evening. Normally we would let Grant, my camera guy, would always let me kind of be the opening kickoff shooter, but this year we changed it up. We let Grant get in the camera or in the shooter seat, and sure enough, right at the kind of end of the evening, big buck comes in, nice 8-pointer, and Grant was able to make a fantastic shot and fill his tag in September and shoot just a great buck, good shot, and it was an awesome night. So we kicked the season off already, and it's barely getting started. So after that, we got our cameras checked, we got things situated, and we got 2 or 3 bucks in Wisconsin that we're definitely looking forward to chasing, and hopefully I'll get a crack at this year. The first buck is a buck we call Muley. We've never seen him, but I have three sets of pictures of him from 3 years. He was a 2-year-old that I got a really cool velvet picture of. And then the following year, again, basically in the same spot, I got another picture. And following that, I got probably 3 or 4 pictures this year, and I'm almost positive it's the same buck. Then, most importantly, we got video and trail camera pictures of a giant buck we're calling Palms. He is just such a sweet buck. Big, thick antlers, and he's going to be a dandy buck this year. So we're really looking forward to chasing him, and that is the update from me. I hope you guys are enjoying yourself. I hope you're having a safe start to your season, and I wish everyone luck, and stay safe out there. Bow hunt or die. You say bow hunt or die?
Bow hunt or die.
Bow hunt or die.
Well, guys, obviously the hunting action has been a little bit slow here in the early season. I mean, we just had really bad weather. It's been hot, or it's been windy, or it's been rainy. The bugs are just absolutely atrocious here in Illinois, so we're just praying for some cooler weather here at some point to get those mosquitoes settled down. You know, Tommy had a cool hunt the other night. I thought he should have shot that doe, but
I do too.
strategy maybe.
It could be strategy. He might just not be wanting to screw that spot up, but I don't know, man. The way I'm feeling this year, since I haven't been able to get out yet, this is definitely a first. Actually, it's embarrassing. I just bought my hunting license last night for Illinois. That was
I just bought mine like an hour before I went hunting the other night, so don't feel bad. As long as you buy it before you go, you're good.
But I did see Tommy before I came in here to film the show, and last night he drove by a spot, and he did see that buck, go figure, out in that spot.
Yeah, he's got a nice buck out there, and he was out there last night. We've got cooler temperatures today. It's cooled off almost 30 degrees since yesterday. So I know Tommy's going to head out there tonight on a north wind, and hopefully his strategy pays off. Don't blow up the spot, and the buck will come there tonight. So we will check in with those guys here on next week's show. Guys, next up we've got a cool tech tip from our friends over at Lancaster Archery and PJ Riley. So let's take a look at that now.
Did you ever have trouble just finding the perfect anchor point when you come to full draw? We got something real simple that'll help you fix that. So this is a kisser button, real simple device that you attach to your bowstring just above your D-loop, that when you come to full draw, it's going to sit in the corner of your mouth. They're popular in some parts of the country. In other parts of the country, they're not really known very well, but it's a real handy device. I'm just going to show you a simple way to set this up. It's real simple. You can do this at home. They're all going to have some way to just slide onto the string, and then you're going to need a measuring device. So the industry standard for the kisser button placement is 1.5 inches above the center of your knock point. That's very critical because if you go any higher, you could run into issues getting a clear sight picture through your sight window on your bow. The way these bows are built with the sight window, you want to have this kisser button 1.5 inches above dead center knocking point. So the order of this would be to get your D-loop for your center shot, then you're going to put your kisser button for your anchor point, and then you would put your peep sight in so you make sure everything is aligned when you come to full draw.
Thanks for that tip, PJ. You know, it's one good question I think I'd like to hear more of is how many people are using kisser buttons nowadays?
Are you using one?
I don't. I mean, I used to always have one. I don't even know why I really stopped using it. But I mean, I kind of liked it.
I don't use one. I shoot with a face mask on occasionally, probably 50% of the time, and it's just hard to get it in there when you've got that face mask. So I don't personally use one, but I know a lot of guys that do, and believe me, there's been times when I've thought about going back to it because maybe I need a little help in crunch time. I think that's really where it can help is, you know, when your adrenaline's racing and you're going and you know, sometimes you don't always anchor the best, and having that one extra piece in there can definitely help out. So, you know, thanks to PJ and the team over at Lancaster for that tip. Guys, next up, we're going to take a couple seconds to thank the folks who sent in their trophy photos for this week's episode. Carter Kosian.
Jay Fro.
John St. Romain.
Josh Shorter.
Kevin Cannon.
And Nate Holsbow. All right, guys, those are some great trophies as always. It seems like the competition for these trophy photos are getting better and better. It must be because we've increased the prize, the loot.
It's that Pine Ridge gear everybody's
It's a great
dying to
package.
get their hands on.
But I'm going to go ahead and, I think we talked about this, and we're agreeing on Carter is the winner. I'm not even going to try to pronounce your last name.
We're just going to say Carter K is the winner.
We spent over 5 minutes trying to figure it out here, and we weren't successful. So we're going to move on.
Congratulations to Carter. Make sure you email us your information so we can get you your prize pack sent out.
I'm tired of trophy photos, though, Justin, in terms of dead deer. It's time to see what live deer you're chasing. Send us your trail camera photos. We want to see what bucks are on your hit list this year, guys.
And they have to be your photos. You can't steal them off the internet, you bunch of cheaters.
And we also want to make sure that the date is accurate. I'm sometimes bad at that.
Yeah,
so
I was going to say, you're the worst one. You send me pictures that says like 2014. I'm like, crap, this is 4 years ago. Oh, no, I just didn't set up the date on my camera.
So they need to be recent photos. We want to see them, so get those big bucks.
And no photoshopping either. We're pretty clever. We'll be able to tell if you altered your photo. So don't screw with them to try to win our prizes. So guys, send us your best hit list photos. And we will start including those in the next couple of episodes. You know, that's all the action we've got for this week. Looks like we've got some rainy weather coming in over the next few days, so not sure how much will be out, but you just never know. You can't kill them from the couch.
No, that is a fact, and I am finally hoping to at least get out once this weekend. But, Justin, before we end this episode, we also need to give a shout-out to the person who has not claimed the Arcus Prize package.
Oh, that's right.
I'm disappointed
Paul
you
Rice.
forgot about that.
Paul Rice was the winner of our Arcus giveaway on our website. So, Paul, we have emailed you already, but we haven't heard back. So if you're watching, make sure you respond to us so you can collect your prize. As always, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week right here on Bowhunt or Die.
For more exciting action, be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram and receive live updates from our team members as well as the latest happenings in the bow hunting and archery world. Be sure to share your photos, stories, and experiences as well. And don't forget to pick up your official bowhunting.com and Bowhunt or Die gear by visiting bowhunting.com/gear. We have a full selection of hats, shirts, decals, wristbands, and much more.
Videos? I did that to my girlfriend's cat, and she freaked out.
Who, your girlfriend or the cat?
The cat.
Would you just
like
hit it with a cucumber?
No, it's just like sitting facing one way, and you put like, I think you used a banana. You put like something right behind it without it noticing and back up, and like they turn around and see it and just freak out.
Yeah, you're
because all of a sudden there's something right there.
Just cat cucumber.
Numbers.
Where did this come from?
YouTube, bro. The tube. It's got 29 million views.
Dude, this cat. Whoa! This is great. Whoa! So we were basically, dude, they hate it. So basically we were sitting here and I don't know, at some point I think I said cooler than a cucumber. And
Cool. They did
cool
two
as-
cucumbers. Maybe a cat's actually worth having. Look at that other cat didn't care though.
They don't like it. Well, I don't know. It was like twice during the episode.
I bet they
said
think it's a
cool as
snake.
That's what
cucumber.
we thought.
Yeah. I gotta try this. This is good stuff. That is a big cucumber.
Whoa! That's a huge cucumber. That thing was like this long. It's not even a cucumber.